Okay, commentary part 2. Overtime. So this has been a really good game. I'm not playing in a party in this game, but I have been playing recently a lot more objective games for the sake of the objectives and not for the sake of getting a good kill death, getting even what I would call an impressive gameplay. This one I really wanted to just win games, and that's been really enjoyable lately, to just win, baby, and not try and put that pressure on myself to try and be awesome every time out, and just, while my other teammates are sitting back sniping or doing whatever, dicking around, actually going up and fighting for the objectives to win the game. So, but this time I got put with a bunch of randoms, but they were actually somewhat communicating, and I wasn't really communicating with them, because in general, when I play online by myself, I don't even usually put my headset on, just because I don't want to tempt myself to scream at all the asshats that are on Xbox Live. But regardless, these guys were at least talking constructively, not just insulting each other or screaming, and they were actually working for objectives and not just sitting back and whoring kills. And neither was the other team, so that's why I wanted to keep this game, even though it's not real impressive. I wanted to show two competitive teams actually trying to win the game and complete the objectives. So you'll see me a lot, like here I'm moving into there, we're trying to get this defuse here at the last second. At this point, the rest of my team had said, oh crap, we lost B, just go and guard A. So as our team started to move across the map, the enemy team kind of decided that that's what we were doing as well, so they only left one or two guys back to defend it, because there's less than 10 seconds, what's going to happen? So I killed the last guy that was there and managed to get the defuse before that, without them getting that frag kill on me or a Simtex kill. So save that temporarily here, they've got it planted again. And I believe... I'm trying to remember, I can't remember if it comes down to the last point. I believe B ends up being the last spot to contest. I get that guy camping that nice little hole that's actually above the objective. It's not really a campy hole. You're pretty out in the open there, but a good level design decision to kind of put an overlook spot on that objective. But, it's somewhat predictable as well, so before you go rushing in for the objective, always check potential camping spots, and that's regardless of whether there's an overlook or even just corners. Before you go running in to defuse an objective or plant a bomb or etc., whatever, always check that corner first. Take the extra 10, 15, 20 seconds to clear the area out before you just go down to plant the bomb. For a couple reasons. One, if you don't check, you're liable to just get yourself killed and have gone all that way for nothing. And two, even if you do get it planted and you haven't cleared the area out, they're going to disarm it immediately as soon as you leave, or as soon as you get killed. So it's important to always clear the area out first. Here they're planting again, so I'm trying to kill the guy that planted it and immediately get the defuse here, even though I suspect they probably have some teammates around. But teammates are important in objective games. You can kind of do it on your own, giggity, to an extent, but the problem is what you're seeing here is they'll send in one guy with marathon lightweight to run in and plant the bomb as quick as possible, but the rest of his team is across the map, so as soon as I kill him, there's no one left to stop me from defusing, and as they're planting it over at A right now. And I think they destroy A, and I decide to stick with B, and this is what it comes down to, is B, because this is overtime. But yeah, so teammates are important, and if you're going to push up to an objective to plant a bomb, there's kind of two situations. One would be to make sure that your team is near you so that when you get it planted, you actually have a decent chance of defending it. Or two is, if in like a game like Demolition where there's two objectives, if your entire team and their entire team are fighting viciously over one objective, then you by yourself can go to the other objective, check and see if they'll usually have one, maybe two guys just as safeties on the other spot. If you can clear them out, sometimes you can get kind of a sneaky plant on the other side. But in general, it's usually best to make sure you have the support of your team, as I walk into their entire fucking team, the support of your team before you go rushing in to try and plant, especially in a search and destroy, because I've seen situations where someone will go in on search and destroy on offense and run in and plant the bomb while the rest of the team is still trying to get set up and make sure that there's not people sitting around corners or sniping. And so that the person that plants the bomb is killed, and now you've got your entire team halfway across the map while their team is defusing. So in search and destroy, it's especially important to make sure that you have either support of your team or numbers, so that they don't just immediately defuse it in the game. Demolition, that's less important because a defuse doesn't end the game or end the round. So here we're down to B, and so both teams are just fighting to protect it. I've got my tack insertion down back there so that I can spawn close to B, because this game has a really, really bad habit of when you have an objective that you're supposed to defend, if the other team gets close to it, it'll spawn you all the way across the map from it. So here I moved my tack insertion up to the top because the bomb's been planted, and I want to try and get a chance to defuse. As you see, I'm checking for their team. And there I get killed by the guy in the skylight. But I put that tack insertion down so I can immediately get back to the objective because we're down to 18 seconds there. I see that a teammate of mine went up towards where that skylight is, so that's relatively clear. But there's another guy around the corner. But again here, tactical insertion, I'm right back in the fight, so as my teammate is defending it, I can get in and help protect him. So he got the defuse, got killed. I killed the guy that was there. So now we're just holding on. We got a minute and a half. We got to keep this bomb, keep this bomb plant alive. So I'm kind of watching this side. That guy with the riot shield, sitting in his corner staring at me. Son of a bitch. I'm watching this backside, which is where their team has been kind of coming from to plant, because the rest of my team is kind of watching the outside of the building area. Oh yeah, bring it on, riot shield. Oh yeah, got your foot. What? Suck it. I'm checking to make sure no one's planting here since I've cleared out this warehouse. So I'm basically watching this backside giggity while the rest of my team is out there watching that. And that's not communicated. That's my team is just kind of set up in the place where they can see the most area. And I recognize that there's a hole in our defense. Giggity again. So I go to fill that hole. Giggity. So sometimes if you're playing with people and if you're communicating or not, if you see a need or a role that needs to be filled that your team's not filling, they're leaving an avenue open, get over there and do it yourself. So here I am trying to fight off these last 15 seconds as their team is kind of in desperation mode to push in and plant. So I don't have to do much. My team's got this area pretty locked down, and I've got an auto shotty, which is ridiculous. And 2 seconds, we fight it off here and get the victory. Come down to the last second, and everyone fighting over that last plant. So, 46 and 27. Not a great kill-to-death ratio, not even 2 to 1. But again, I fought to win the objective and not just to get kills. And you'll see that if you go back and look, all the kill-to-death ratios of everyone else in the game. No one really had a bunch of kills and very few deaths, so people weren't really whoring kills. Everybody was actually fighting to win. So that's kind of a good way to play an objective game. If, like I said, you're actually wanting to win games and go for the objective. Your teammates in general will usually like you better, depending on whether or not they're just sitting back kill whoring anyway. So sometimes kill to death ratio isn't as important as winning the game, and we've been playing a lot of objective games lately, and so I've seen an appropriate drop in my kill to death ratio from 2.34, and I think now it's at like 2.15. But yeah, so kind of a bit of a gameplay commentary there for the second half, and hopefully I'm going to be doing commentaries more often. And yeah, I guess that's it for this time. Just a reminder, if you haven't checked out KJ's channel, go check that out. I'll put links in the description for that. And the Uber Amalgamation, where we post our random clips. Go check that out as well. There's some good stuff in there. And yeah, I will talk to you guys later.